Well, welcome to the Mentors, episode number 17.
Wow.
And to the listeners out there, as you know, we've been starting to check in with some of the people that we've already reached out to us this year, Matty. How are you, buddy?
Mate, I'm well, thanks.
You're well.
Fresh
You've
back
just come
from barrel.
Barrel. Fresh. Bring the understatement.
That's why I look a bit sort of frozen here. But I'll warm up, Clouds, after seeing you.
Oh, mate. Well, if I can give you something, Matty, I've got a winter challenge happening at the moment.
Oh, good.
I'm jumping into the ocean every day during winter.
No way.
Yep, I am. And let me tell you, this morning was absolutely freezing.
Does that help you lose weight? I might come
apparently
with you.
It does. Build your immune system. There's all some really good benefits, but I don't know about that. I'm just
Okay.
going in there trying to challenge myself. I think I'm just
stuff.
crazy.
Good
I'm
on
just
you.
crazy. Anyway, Matty, we've got a special guest here in our episode 17 of The Mentors. We welcome back Patrick Cosgrove. Patrick, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to be back.
Young gun.
Patrick Cosgrove from Raine and Horne Double Bay.
Young gun Cosgrove.
So, Patty, you joined us back in episode 3.
Yep.
You came out here and reached out to us and talked to us a little bit about your marketing plan going into 2018. So I thought for the listeners, it's great to check in with some of our past, people that have agents that have checked in with us. Tell us a little bit about like how things are going for you with your marketing plan, because that was really your question. You were trying to understand what could you do this year. Do you spend more digital? You know, we were talking about print, and Matty said printing is dead.
Yep.
Get rid of those DL cards. Where are you now? With your
It's
marketing
been
plan?
it's been a really, really good year. I mean, we've done a lot. I've done a lot with Sprinkle Meter actually as well with Clinton. We've shot a lot of videos and stuff.
Okay,
I think.
Do we get a little handout for you? Being
Do I get the hat? Do I
Making
get the
the
hat now?
introduction back here in episode 3.
Yeah, it's gone really, really well. Like I think just about every property I've put online, we've shot a property video for, which has been really good. And we've linked that back to my website, so you can actually tell the difference between the inquiries from the ones where they're coming purely from the video to the ones that are on the internet, because they come through my website, so we can count them. And then we've also trialed a few cool things like a vlog as well, which I've got the third one dropping next week. Get on it.
There's a little plug for everyone out there. Tell us, Patty, vlog. What are you doing? So you're doing your property video. So what did you not? We're doing property videos last year. Is that the case?
We were doing property videos last year, but this year we've tried to get away from me being the center of the video, so to speak, and try and make more about the property. Like I noticed with a lot of videos out there, it becomes very much about the agent. It's very much the agent walking through the property, and the video follows the agent through the property. Whereas we try and just stick to me just talking about some of the great things about it, what I love about the property, or the 3 best things, and then letting the videographer just work the property as much as he can.
Yeah, that's great.
And remove myself from it, and then the vlogs, they've been really, really cool. Like they're just more about trying to be really casual and getting to know me and my team and what I do and stuff. We've got Thomas giving the shucker in the background, hey?
I like his white shoes.
Just saying, I think he's gone back.
From the Gold Coast?
I think he thinks it's summer again.
It's summer. Go on. You go on, Patty. Sorry.
And that's what we've been doing, hey, Clinton. We've been just trying to make it really casual. We've been trying to steer really clear from that sleek, shiny, like typical agent profile videos that you see. That are very scripted. They're all very off the hand. We've come up with like rules where we're not allowed to shoot a piece of content twice. Like we're not allowed to have a run at it. So if you make a mistake, you've just got to keep going. So it tries to make it very original and
very real,
human.
very authentic.
Yeah.
Okay, and how's that working for you so far? Is it coming across really well with the audience that you're pitching out to?
Yeah, I send that to my entire database, and we also do a lot of Facebook boosting and things like that, which we're big on.
And what sort of numbers? Have you been starting to review the analytics of the numbers?
Yeah, some of the views that we're getting, about 30,000 views a video.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, which is big.
That's massive.
If you think about that, just doing 10 or 12 a year, that's 300,000, 360,000 people watching a video.
What would that be, Clinton? What would the average be views? That sounds like way above the average.
I think Pat could probably talk to this better than I can, because once we've distributed or given the content to, say, for example, a Patrick or even a Claudio, from there, I give a couple of pointers around what I think the guy should be doing, and then literally it's up to him how much he wants to spend on it and what he says is an average. But What I do see is if you're going to go and spend $100, let's have an example, you do $100 on every single video. All of a sudden now, if it is impactful content, like we're talking about content that people respond well to, you may see anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 views on it. And if it works well, then you get quite a few likes and comments, right? So when you then amplify that, and if you want to share, you put a significant boost behind it, then that's where you start to get into those bigger numbers like 20, 30,000.
Wow. So, Pat, is it fair to say the success of any idea is obviously in its implementation?
Absolutely.
And one thing that you've done is when you got some advice, you then went and implemented it. So, Clouds, you've been training people for years, as I have. You saw more one-on-one, me sort of like globally. But
absolutely.
It's amazing the great ideas that just never get implemented, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what happens, Maddie, a lot of people tend to think, ponder and dwell on ideas. And I think that's the biggest thing. Working with a lot of different agents across the industry, one thing I know is the guys that are actually, execute and they do it, and they don't care if it fails or doesn't work, but they just keep doing it.
They just go for it.
Yeah,
that's what you've done, Pat.
Exactly. And you
don't think about it.
Exactly, and you look at any successful person, such as John Simons, Aussie Homelands. He went bankrupt. What, Matty, twice?
Yeah, twice. Yeah, amazing guy.
And you know him personally as well,
absolutely.
right? But he came back and went out and had another crack, right? So
and he just kept implementing. Like
that's what
he had an idea and kept going. And you could imagine all the people that wouldn't have said Aussie Home Loans ever would have worked.
Yeah.
That's just not going to work. You're taking on the banks. Like what the hell? It's impossible. And look what happened.
And I think I always say this: like the safest place is the unsafest place. So if you're playing it safe all the time, you're never going to grow.
No.
And that really came to a bit of a realization for me today because I've just sort of committed to something for the next 12 months with a coach in the US.
Wow.
With my own business, right?
That's right.
And let me tell you, it's not cheap. Like my wife said, that's like a family holiday happening every month. And she goes, you better make this work. And it was a big decision, big risk, but I'm excited. I'm excited because I want to give it a go. And I know all of my growth over the years has come from taking risks.
Yeah, that's congratulations.
No.
Good.
And look, 12 months down the track, mate, I might not be talking to you. I might be living in a cardboard box here in Bondi somewhere with my 3 kids.
We've got a couple of spare desks behind us.
We've got about a couple of spare rooms at your place. But this is the thing, right? We think about it. And one thing I've learned is this, Matty. It's like, and this can go for everybody out there listening and including yourself, Matty, is that, I always look at things in 3 things. Like what's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? And what's the most likely scenario? Worst case scenario for me in this position or you, Patrick, when you invest money, it's like, okay, you lose it, but what would it mean? The worst case scenario for me would be I may need to sell something or do something and start again, right?
Yeah, and you can
I've got my health, I've got my kids, and that's the main thing, and my family,
totally
right? My
agree.
wife. So I think in life, and you've taken certain amounts of risk, Matty, the agency and so forth.
I've been taking risks since I started in real estate, doing things with sponsorships when I didn't have the money and a whole lot of things. But biggest risk I ever took was when I bought my first property, Pat. And, I think I remember putting $40,000 down on something that was worth $200,000, a 2-bedroom unit in Coogee, believe it or not. That's what they were selling for back in 80, 90, 91.
Yeah.
And I put $40,000 down, my whole life savings. I looked at my mother and she said, you're looking really nervous. What's the problem? She said, you're borrowing, $150,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I said, Mum, what if I can't afford to have the repayments? What if I go? She goes, well, sell it.
Yeah.
And I went,
worst case
because that
scenario.
just reminded you what you just said.
Worst case scenario.
She said, sell it. She said, but what about, have you ever thought if you can afford to make the repayments? Because we bought a property we bought a property 20 years ago for $60,000. It's now worth $200,000. If you can hang on to this for, she was saying for 10 years or whatever as a minimum, that'll be worth $500,000. I said $500,000 for a 2-bedroom unit in Coogee. So those units now are selling for $1.2 million. That was 25 years ago. I bought that unit.
Crazy.
And
I've still got it, touch wood. But the reality of it is I'll still think today, sell it if I have to.
Exactly.
Like you do.
Worst case, you're not going to die, right? You're not going to die from it.
Are you thinking of selling it, are you?
I'm looking for a good agent.
but
I'll be on your
But
doorstep.
that's the whole thing, right? It's like, and I remember your mother, she was a beautiful lady, Maddie.
No, thanks,
and great advice. Okay. And this is the thing where most people out there, they think and dwell and ponder on ideas or strategy or investing, and that's the thing about Patrick. He's gone out there, he's taken a risk. No one else is really doing it in this space. but the person who has the most risk always wins.
Yeah, Clinton, same with you. Look at the risk you've taken. I mean, mate, there's competition in your space galore, yet you've carved a huge niche out in a short period of time because you're doing something different. You're prepared to back yourself. You turn up. What's the big criteria, Pat, in our business, right, is you turn up, isn't it? That's 50% of the problem.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Get these guys and girls running around that's all too hard and have a bad day and they want to, go and take a week off, go on holidays, go do this, go do. They're the ones that are always playing catch up. It's 50% of the problem in this business I've seen in the last 30 years is turning up consistently. And I actually have never had a day off, sick day off in real estate that I can actually remember. I think I've had probably 2 or 3 days off that weren't holidays. Both of them when my kids were born.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like, people go down with the flu and all sorts of stuff. I get that because you don't want to infect other people. But I think people take excuses to stop and drop out because it's a mental strength. This is a game of mental strength, isn't it?
The key there is consistency, I think.
Consistency.
Yeah. Like
so keep showing up. Showing up's 50. If you just turn up, something's going to happen, right? We all know that. Turn up, open a property for inspection, something will happen.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, one of the awesome things about getting to work with so many good agents is seeing how different people operate.
Yeah.
Right? One of the standouts with Patrick and what I see with him is he's in a position where he loves what he does. He can maintain consistency
big
quite
problem.
well.
Yeah.
And you ask the guy, like he works 7 days a week, right? I can't do that. I've got a family. I know what my limits are, and he jokes with me all the time about it. But like I work within my own constraints with what I can and can't do, but I've picked something that I love doing, and therefore I go all in on it. And what that also means is when I see an opportunity, I try it. I'm more than happy to fail and learn from it and value that experience more than just having an idea and never doing anything with it.
Yeah, there's an old saying, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life or something. Is that the saying?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And so whenever somebody takes up content and they start doing content and you see how much work they put into it, there's a few people in the game that are like, right, cool, I can see there's opportunity in marketing myself and doing video content like Patrick has, but the guy's consistent. Right, so some people will come and they'll do one video and then they drop off for a couple of months and then it didn't work.
Yep.
But in Patrick's case, it's like every single month, as many properties as possible, and like talk me through the numbers. Like I haven't even had this conversation with you, but if you've had 30,000 on one video, have you gone through and counted the results on the other ones?
I haven't actually sat down and counted them all. We should do that actually one time, but
100%.
It's amazing to think like, if you think, say, let's say 300,000, just an easy number, at the end of the year, you've watched all of our vlogs, how much would that cost to drop our DL cards to 300,000 people?
And you're not getting, and it's something you can't reuse,
No.
the DL card.
No.
You keep reusing this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And Paddy, what the shift for you, because when we did sit down, I'm trying to just recollect what was said, but you were talking about you were doing the traditional old way of letterbox.
Yeah,
drops.
letterbox
Have
drops.
you still doing that, or you've
Not-
noticed that it's not in with stop?
Not
it's
really
stopped impacting?
anymore. Like it's more, we more text and phone call people when we've listed something on their street, or we send them a handwritten note
Great
saying
idea.
we've just listed something on your street. Why don't you pop through for the first open as a sneak preview? So it's more targeted rather than doing the big spray.
Yeah.
But we've sort of been researching into a few foundations and stuff like that as to what we're going to get involved to, because we haven't actually picked one of those, like to get involved with the community. And we're trying to find something that the team is, and when I said the team, me, Ellie and Jordan are all passionate about. And at the moment there's one actually foundation we're looking at, which is, it's sort of like it has to do with cancer and things like that. Because we've all had friends and family members that we've lost. So it's something that we want to choose something that we're really passionate about. Because I think there's no point of choosing like a fair or something like that, because we thought about doing like a suburb fair.
Yep.
And just trying to pick something that goes to our heart, so to speak.
Yeah.
So we actually do genuinely want to get involved.
Something you feel aligned to, something you're connected with.
Yeah.
And
within
that can
the
help
community.
change people's lives.
Yeah.
I think that's super important, Matty. Like part of marketing plans is when you do get involved with the community, it's absolutely, I think it's paramount that you actually believe in what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
not just putting,
not just a land
sponsoring the
grab.
soccer, team and putting a name and number on the back of some jersey and then hoping that something's going to come out of it. It's like you've got to be passionate about soccer, you've got to be passionate about kids, etc. And it's not about putting a name and on a jersey and then hopefully someone's going to give you a call from that.
Yeah, look, there's two parts. There are some strategic business alliances you can do, like obviously surf clubs, things like that are good because they're little kids sort of growing, and then you say you're indirectly saving lives, putting money into things where they can improve their services. There's things like that you might not. It looks like an advertising thing, but it does. The money goes to good too.
Yeah.
But cancer is one of those ones where everyone will put money in to do with cancer. You know?
Yeah, totally.
And so it's a good thing because if you're passionate about, if you've been touched by it, like I have personally, but if you have been touched by it, it's something you just want to eradicate. It's a terrible disease.
Yeah.
You know? And
It's
it's one of those words when people mention it, it's like people start to shake.
yeah.
One of those diseases when people mention it, you
Well,
see
it was close to home for you too.
Yeah. My mum died of it.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, right.
Died of it over 5 years too. So it's one of those diseases you never beat it, but you can prolong it, but it's always going to get you sort of scenario. It's certain the type she had, breast into bone, which is painful. I'm sort of very aware of it. Family, I've had lots of colleagues over the years where their mums and dads, and I know 2 or 3 now in the business here that their family have got it. So
Yeah. Well, it's important.
Yeah.
Give back to the community.
well done, mate, on that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then the other one I think we spoke about was clients and stuff, giving back to your clients, your top clients, your past vendors.
Like a client appreciation party.
So I was thinking about having like a bit of a drinks thing at the end of the year or something like that.
Yep.
And then also I've been sort of showering them with a few gifts throughout the year. Like we gave them a gift at the end of last year, sort of like a New Year's gift.
Yes.
And then we gave them another one, sort of some chocolates to the top clients over Easter.
Yep.
And then we're thinking about a New Year's Eve gift or sort of a new financial year gift.
Yeah, right.
Which we're thinking about. But it's amazing just like the response you get when you just give something and don't ask for anything back.
That's exactly.
So out of the blue.
Do everything with no expectation.
Yeah.
As soon as you think about expectation, you lose the game.
Yeah, the big companies like Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, the car companies have really, Audi have mastered the art of that.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll see a keyring pop up or something like that. Like a pen or something, just a little thing which reminds them that they're still there.
Yeah.
Correct.
And they value the relationship.
Yeah. Exactly. So doing gifts with no expectation is massive, absolutely massive. So mate, good on you. So the next 6 months. So your year's gone really well. How many sales have you done so far?
It's been really good. Yeah, I just exchanged my 14th property just last week, which is really good. Yeah,
it's calendar year or thing.
Yeah, that's calendar year.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. So but yeah, the just like the videos, like when we started doing this, like I hated doing videos. I hate seeing myself in a video. There's nothing worse.
Seeing yourself in camera.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. I used to stand at the
it.
other end of the office when they'd play it, and I'd just watch it from a distance and be like, "Oh, I think that's me." When we'd proof them, but it does get easier. Like, and if you just stick with it, like planning for when we do the videos and stuff, if you plan them ahead of time and stuff, sort of the ideas of what you want to do, it does get easier as time goes on, doesn't it?
That's interesting, Paddy. You're doing sort of roughly 2 a month. Take January out, I suppose. To go to 3 a month, it's really then becomes easier. Have you noticed when you're doing more opens,
when the
it
snowball
becomes easier to do more opens?
Yeah.
People are saying, how will I do 5 or 6 opens on a weekend or 7 or 8, whatever. When you're doing, I reckon it's harder to do 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Klaus?
Absolutely,
than it is to
100%.
do. As I just remember when I used to do it, the more, because you got momentum going, okay, I got this. And the buyers used to follow you. So I'd say, look, I'm going here next, I'm going here next, I'm going here next. And it was easy. You're just dealing with the same sort of people.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think that's where, when you got momentum, the last thing you want to do is get lazy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I see agents get lazy when they got momentum.
They think they've made it.
They've
never made it.
Yeah, exactly. And then they lose their momentum again versus going, you know what, this is an opportunity now. I've got momentum. Let's see how can I build, like you're saying, going from the 2 to 3, then you go to 3 to 5 and 6 to 7, etc. So,
totally.
No, absolutely. So, mate, thanks for joining us back.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have fun.
On episode, is it 17? Episode 17. And if you haven't catched it, listeners, you can go back to episode number 3. So Patrick joined us there. And his question was around his marketing plan for 2018. And it's just awesome that, roughly 6 months ago, part of it you've changed is getting into more digital, getting less out of print, doing more social media strategy. It's obviously getting your name out there, 30,000 views, which is absolutely massive, Paddy. Just to wrap up, what's your plan for the next 6 months now, in terms of your marketing plan? Obviously, you've got digital, you've got social media. Is it more just finishing off now, getting on the community involved? Or
it's trying to get the community involved, definitely, upping the past clients. And and just giving back to like, especially like the people like the referrers and stuff who've sent me a lot. And just trying to be really consistent.
Yeah,
that's what it's about, really. Yeah.
And what sort of gift do you give? Just so we know, so some listeners are thinking, what could I give a past client, or maybe someone who refers you a lot of business?
I've given them hampers. I've given out like coffee table books.
Yep.
Given them chocolates, coffee vouchers, movie vouchers, car washes. We've given out a lot. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Good.
Beautiful.
Candles are always a good thing because
Yeah.
people leave them on. They don't necessarily burn them, or that they stay there and stays like with you.
I remember, I might have said this to you, I'm not sure, but I remember one, it could have been Steve Chen years ago, Matty. He used to give his VIP clients a free car wash.
Yep.
And they'd go in there to get there. But you know, I love getting someone gives me a free car wash.
Yeah.
I know.
Because, you know, my son complains when he washes my car. But you know, but just to get like something like that, getting a free car wash. And I remember Steve was saying at the time, Steve Chen would say, yeah, my top 20 VIPs, they get a free car wash.
Yeah.
And they'd go down there. And
So
other
good.
time, he'd be washing his second car or something, and he'd be having a cup of coffee and meeting his clients while he's down there.
So good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
All right.
One more.
So, Patty, I find that a lot of agents are sort of like in a position where they're like, what content should I do, or how do I get started? Being through it in the last 6 months, what would you say got you from not doing it to now doing it? What would be your biggest piece of advice?
Just start. Just come up with an idea, however big, however small it may be, and just start. And it just sort of goes from there, because once you've done, like the first one we did, we were just like, let's just shoot anything.
Yeah.
And then we did something, and then we were like, oh, I've actually got another idea. As soon as you'd finished it, we were like, we've got other ideas.
Yeah.
And we did the second one. And by the time we did the second one, I think now we've got like 7 or 8 ideas. Like we've got 7 or 8 other planned for the future. And just they come to you. I was driving in the car and I was like, I should get Clinton in to do the gym. and I called Clinton. I was like, Clinton, do you want to come to the gym with me at 4:30 a.m.? He's like,
Clinton gets up at about 9. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's awesome.
I don't reckon he sleeps. I've had emails from him at like 2 a.m.
That's why he gets up at 9. No, just kidding. All right. Well, Paddy, thanks so much for joining us here on The Mentors, episode 17. Mate, we may check in with you once again, maybe sometime early next year, to see how the whole year panned out for you in 2018 with your marketing plan.
Wonderful.
And thanks for sharing and coming back and joining us right here, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
Well done, Pat. Congratulations.
Well done. Thanks, Paddy.
Got something great from this episode? It would mean the world to us if you passed it on. Tune in each week as we mentor a new agent. Have a question? Want to be on the show? Get in touch with Claudio Encina, Matt Lahood, or visit our Facebook page. The Mentors is brought to you by Sprinkler.media.